What's up? What's up? Welcome to the market recap. Today is November 11th, 2025. So no trades for me last night. Everything I pretty much had on a watch didn't really pull back to value to give me an entry. It all just kind of ran to the targets I was looking for. So for tonight, it's kind of I don't know. There's not a lot of like really clean kind of trades other than one, this kind of like Euro Huff, but it's an exotic pair. So this is a kind of a tough one to trade from a spread perspective right now. But I still have yens on watch again tonight, mainly as kind of ABO breakout plays. So pretty much all of these yens are hitting like some recent daily resistance. You can see it on the 4 hour as well. See it on dollar yen is essentially starting to form like this ascending triangle pattern on the 1 hour, 4 hour time frames. Swiss yen is sitting at daily kind of highs. NOK yen is sitting at recent kind of daily highs as well. You see on the 4 hour and the 1 hour. And then Singapore yen is similar, like it needs to push a little bit higher to get to those highs. So I'm looking at all these yens as breakout plays. It's all going to depend on how they develop. I'll need to see some really kind of solid price action. I want to see like if it's Swiss yen, NOK yen, or Singapore yen, I'm looking for price to really kind of respect that previous high, decelerate there, give like maybe like a 15-minute or preferably like a 1 hour kind of, and I'm going to give you a 1 hour, but like a 15-minute kind of double top, maybe even some kind of pattern on a 15-minute or 3-minute time frame to entertain taking this short. Otherwise, I'll wait for the break on all of these yen pairs because when they do break down, they will be pretty solid IBOs and CBOs. But there is an opportunity to take these trades tonight as breakout plays. If they don't develop the way I like, though, there's the option to obviously trade them tomorrow. So if they play out how we're anticipating them to play out. The top yen is probably this dollar yen. It's starting to develop in this nice pattern. I do like how you on the kind of this 1 hour time frame, it's respecting these previous highs pretty nicely. It's just on the daily time frame, you don't have a lot of resistance here. Like you have a little bit here in the past, but nothing kind of crazy. It's not like a great level. It's just more so respecting it right now on the 1 hour and the 4 hour time frames, which is enough to take this short. So yeah, it almost kind of had a kind of micro time frame play today on like the 4 hour time frame, and I was watching it, seeing how this kind of played out. But it had this kind of like 15-minute CBO, 1 hour IBO, 3-minute kind of ACB style trade. I didn't take this trade, but just as I've flipped to using the 15-minute and 3-minute now, I've gone and changed obviously my 4 hour layout, my 1 hour layout to correspond that change. So I've just been paying attention to trades during kind of New York. Once I wake up in the morning, I'll do a quick scan and see what's going on like a 4 hour kind of layout. And see if this kind of 3 time frame alignment, which I find all the time on the daily layout, like from my 4 hour to my 1 hour to the 15, if I can get the same kind of alignment from a 1 hour to a 15 to a 3, right? And this was the first kind of potential one that I saw since I've had this kind of concept in my mind. So just it's something I'm paying attention to over the next month as I've switched these different time frames. Yeah. The other group I have is a Swiss group, and of this Swiss group, Euro Swiss is probably my favorite from a daily time frame wise. It's bouncing off of the daily 50. You have a nice bearish engulfing candle. It has a clear lower low on the 4 hour time frame, as well as a clear lower low on a 1 hour time frame. So clear trend change. You consider this wave 1, wave 2, a large wave 3, wave 4, and playing wave 5 on the 1 hour. Everything kind of lines up in that area. It's broken this overall trend on the 4 hour and 1 hour time frames which is essentially kind of like a phase line break on your daily time frame. So looking for a pullback to 0.382 roughly in the EMAs and the 15-minute 200 to take this trade short. Everything I have tonight, I think this is probably the cleanest option other than this kind of Euro huff, but this is an exotic. Minus exotics, I think this is probably the nicest option for this upcoming session. It's a CBO on the 4 hour, CBO on the 1 hour, and it'll be an ACB on the 15-minute time frame. And it's essentially an ATC, so a trend continuation on the daily time frame. CAD Swiss is, again, same kind of concept. Just not as nice a price action with not really kind of breaking these previous lows in the 1 hour and 4 hour. That's why I think Euro Swiss is a little nicer than this, but same vibes. Aussie Swiss, again, same vibes, but hasn't broken the previous 1 hour and 4 hour low. And then Pound Swiss, again, same vibes, but this has already moved a good bit. It has broken the 1 hour and 4 hour previous lows, but now it's sitting at these kind of recent daily lows as well as, extreme recent 1 hour and 4 hour lows. So it's almost really kind of sitting at support right now. If you draw on a line right here, see what I'm talking about? So there's the potential to trade this long off of this level. Again, it'll just depend on things develop. But more so than anything, I'm really waiting for this Euro Swiss. But for this Euro Swiss to present an entry, which would mean all the Swisses would kind of pull back, which this kind of trade off of this level would theoretically play out. So hence why I'm kind of considering it. And then there's Euro Swiss here. This is a 1 hour IBO. It is a 15-minute CBO. And earlier in the day, it was like kind of a 3-minute ACB. Now it's just kind of like, consolidated and continued decelerating here. The issue with this is, I think to take this trade, you would have had to have taken it late in the day prior to market rollover. So like an hour or so prior to market rollover. I think you could have taken this, but there really wasn't any kind of crazy price action, very low volume. So it's hard to kind of trade this pair at this point. Earlier when I saw it, I was waiting for a deeper pullback. So it's like it had the ACB on the 3-minute time frame, and it was the, kind of CBO on the 15-minute time frame. But on the 1 hour time frame, it was still sitting a good bit above the 1 hour 50. And I wanted it to come back down and retest and, get a rejection of the 1 hour 50. That's kind of essentially what it's doing right here, but this could just be due to market rollover and spread stuff as well. So time will tell. But I think this is still an option. I'll continue to watch it, see how things develop on it over the next few hours, but I don't think the spreads on this pair really tighten for me until deep into Asia, right before London. I know during New York, spreads aren't an issue at all, but I don't think they tighten on me on this pair until London. So we'll see. And then I have two kind of other exotic pairs, a CAD knock and Aussie knock. Same kind of vibes as these Swiss pairs, right? Just kind of large breaks, clear lower low on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. Both a CBO on the 4 hour and the 1 hour. It would be an ACB on the 15-minute with a pullback to 0.382, 0.5 fibs, somewhere in that area, to some previous kind of support that's roughly in here, to the EMAs, and then take that short. Same thing here with Aussie knock. I think CAD knock is a little nicer than Aussie knock just due to the fact of this daily time frame. It has a nice kind of like rejection of that daily 50 and a breakdown versus Aussie knock. You could argue this is a break and a retest and will continue up from here. So, but both still options. My bias on both is still short for this upcoming session. Then development-wise, still watching Kiwis. I think there's a potential to play a 1 hour IBO on Aussie Kiwi tonight. I don't 100% kind of love the price action right now, though. On the 4 hour time frame, this kind of just looks like a continuation and trend. It broke a trend line, sure, but it didn't really break this previous low right here. It's kind of just found support right there and continuing up. So I could see this pushing past the 1 hour 50 into giving it like a head and shoulders pattern per se on this 1 hour time frame. Like this would be your head, this would be your left shoulder, and then coming up and giving us a right shoulder. And then it would be an interesting short, but also at that point it's breaking the 1 hour 50. It'd be breaking the 15-minute EMAs. So it'd be weird, essentially. So I'm okay sitting and on the sidelines and waiting on this trade. If it does continue to play out tonight, cool. It'll be a pretty solid CBO come tomorrow then. Or if it does push up first and give that kind of right shoulder and then break down, it'll still be a solid CBO tomorrow. So I'm not in love with the IBO tonight, hence why I'm just kind of left it in development, but it is an option. Pound Kiwi, I think there's potential for a long off of this, off of the 1 hour 200, 4 hour 50 area. It's kind of ACB-esque, but it's a little weird. The weird thing about it is it's not really going to line up with your daily 50. So you could take a trade off of this and then price could just continue down to get to that daily 50 and it would take you out of the trade. But I see the potential for a long, but not something I'm considering. Euro Kiwi, just waiting on something here to happen. Kiwi dollar got the kind of breakout I was looking for today, but then also had a kind of a push all in the same time frame. There's not really anything here to trade at the moment, but if we get a retest of these lows or if we get a full-on breakout, I think this could be like a CBO tomorrow. Kiwi CAD, same kind of vibes. I have an alert set for if it gets back down to the lows to look at it from like a 1 hour double bottom perspective. Since these are kind of like some previous lows in your daily time frame, not all-time lows, but still decent kind of point to watch. And Kiwi Swiss still have an alert set at the lows on this as well for the daily double bottom, and then looking for like kind of a 1 hour double bottom off that to potentially take it long. But if it doesn't give us that from this point and it breaks up here, this would be a nice kind of IBO as well, because at that point you've already got a trend change on your 1 hour time frame. This would be a higher low, and then we may not get a higher high just due to this, depending on how price kind of breaks up here. But if it breaks that, gives us a higher high and gives us a pullback, it just might respect like the 1 hour 200, 4 hour 50. It might bounce off of that before it gives the IBO, which is not preferable, but still trade it. And then Kiwi Yen, not really anything here. I just have it on watch because I have all the Kiwis on watch currently. And then, yeah, two kind of swing trades, watching how these guys develop a little bit. They've broken somewhat the ACB pattern, right? They should have kind of respected this 4 hour 200, but they've broken back below. So just watching to see what price does here. Does it give like a 1 hour double bottom, like 15-minute double bottom? Does price start to reverse from there? Does it price kind of give this 15-minute double bottom and then break up and then break that 15-minute high? That would be okay for a potential long. So we'll see. Yeah, more so looking for this Euro Swiss tonight. Potentially this dollar yen ABO / IBO. Still keep my eyes on this to see if it's something to take. It's pretty much sitting at value at the point to take this as an IBO. The kind of negative is it's already broken the 1 hour 50. So, and it's kind of sitting on the 4 hour 50. So it's weird. It's there. I see the potential, but I think the nicer trade might just be waiting for this kind of breakdown. If it breaks down from here, it might just be waiting for this breakdown and then play the CBO tomorrow, which will pretty much likely leave us with just Swiss pairs for tonight. Anyways, that's all I got, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. See you.